Hi guys, welcome to my channel Deb Talk. It's your girl Deb here with the very first official video, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you a list of 10 clues or red flags that you can look for to see if you're in a toxic relationship. So if that's something you're interested in learning, keep watching. So I actually asked the question on my social media page to my friends asking how they define a toxic relationship, and I actually got quite a bit of responses, so I'm actually going to read a few, and then after that I'll get into the list of the top 10 things. Okay, so if you see me looking down, it's because I have my phone here. I'm going to be reading some of the responses that I got. Okay, so somebody said when they're controlling and one-sided thinking, definitely, that's actually on the top 10 list. Another person said when you can't be your true authentic self, definitely, you're not yourself, you're possibly somebody else, you're hiding certain attributes of yourself. Toxic girl. Another person said it's hard to give an exact definition, but I will say if you're thinking it's toxic, it's toxic. Another person said if you have to question it. Another response, anything that does, I do not know, I can't read, I'm sorry. Anything that does not challenge you to be a better version of yourself. Yes, I think out of all the responses, there's more, but this one was definitely my most favorite, because I personally believe you should always be growing, you should always be learning, no matter what stage of life. If you're widowed, if you're divorced, if you're married, if you're single, even if you have friends, your friends should be challenging you. Another person said a relationship where you're always crying, don't feel safe, and you're just not happy. Definitely, I feel like in all your relationships you should be able to feel safe in sharing, safe in living, all of that. Another person, and yes, I definitely agree with this one, is when it disrupts your peace. Since my relationship, I am so passionate about my peace that I constantly am having to get counsel from God, because I'm ready to flee. Once my peace is disturbed, I'm ready to go. Another person said makes you question your own worth. Definitely, I know that by the end of my relationship, I definitely did not realize the worth that I was. Going in, I felt like I did, but I didn't fully know my worth. But now that I'm out, I'm constantly reminding myself, not in a cocky way, but a whole Savior, a whole Jesus Christ died on the cross for me. I'm worth something, okay? Another person said any type of relationship that makes you feel unwelcoming feelings and emotions. And this one's good. Always apologize and do the same thing. Never correct. So yeah, always saying I'm sorry for this or I'm sorry for that, but then the next day, next minute, you're doing that. Toxic, honey. So now we're gonna get into our top 10 list of red flags that you can look for. Okay, so first on the list is imbalance of power. So this is when you may feel like one partner has more control in the relationship than the other. Like the roles aren't really balanced. They may make decisions without asking you and may feel like, well, I know what's best, it should be my way. Oftentimes, if you're in that kind of relationship, you're not gonna feel like you're empowered. And if you're not feeling like you're empowered, then you're gonna feel like you don't have a voice. And if you feel like you don't have a voice, then you feel like you don't matter. Okay, so number 2 on the list is you don't feel good about yourself when you're with them or when you interact with them. Ooh, I think of a couple of people when I think about this one, but pertaining just to my past relationship, I know that for sure to be true. I remember oftentimes looking at the clock, knowing he's about to be home from work soon, and literally dreading it, knowing it's not going to be a good time. I'm going to be constantly trying to watch what I'm saying because any and everything offends you. It was just a lot of work. I hated the feeling, every minute of it. I hated how I felt because I couldn't be myself. It was just, yeah, not a good time. Number 3 is you often feel drained. And yes, I'm sorry, but it's true. It's kind of piggybacking off the last one is, it's like a job. I know relationships, you have to work at them, but it should not be your job. And literally, when I think back on it, that was my job, making sure you feel okay, making sure, I'm walking on eggshells so that you won't be mad, or, making sure I say the right things, or just knowing anything's gonna make you blow up, or trying to keep you happy so that at least we can have some false sense of peace. It was just, Yes, perfect word. Just draining. So number 4 is you're afraid to voice your opinions, your feelings, and your thoughts. And this can actually be for multiple reasons. It could be, let's say, like if it's a friend, you don't like confiding in this friend because you know whatever you tell them, they're gonna go and tell like 5 more people. Or it could be like, back to your relationship. Maybe you're with somebody who they always want to be the center of it. So whenever you voice, your opinion or your thoughts about something, they always turn it back to them. It could be romantically anybody, they always turn it back to them, like, let's make this about me. Or it could be someone just plain out ignoring you whenever you tell them, like, hey, this makes me feel this way, this makes me feel that way, and it could be complete silence, or just just like ignore you with their actions. So number 5 is they make you question your feelings or make you feel like you're crazy. Literally, as the word crazy left my lips, like, I'm triggered. Like, I remember being in the relationship, literally holding my head like, am I crazy? Because I either like voiced my opinion or how something made me feel, and then instead of validating those feelings or talking about it, instead it's flipped on you, and then you're just sitting there like feeling like you're crazy, or either them really calling you crazy for basically fat. Okay, so number 6 is when you're in a cycle with them that you often feel you can't break free of. So for me, in my relationship, what it looked like was, okay, so abuse would occur, and then the next maybe like 2 days he'd be really nice to me, and then again it would occur, and then the next 2 days he's nice to me. So instead of like obviously taking heed to what was going on, I would hold on to those 2 days of how he was, and often feel like I was stuck because I was holding on to the excuse of whatever I would make and be like, oh well, this is really who he is. That leads to number 7, which is when you keep hoping that they will change. The best advice I can give to anybody concerning this point is not to date potential. One thing that I always tell my friends or anybody that I'm talking to concerning this is to think, would you be okay being with this person or being friends with this person if they were never to grow anymore? If they were going to stay what they are, who they are at this point in time, would you be okay with that? Number 8 is the relationship is often a roller coaster, or you often feel a pull, push, or a hot, cold from them. So the Bible says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So if you're constantly dealing with somebody who is never predictable, they're always unstable, you never know what's going to happen with them, all that's going to do is disrupt your peace. So girl, run. Okay, so number 9 is when you have low self-esteem. A toxic relationship will make your self-esteem go as low as it can go. There's no way, if your relationship has all these red flags that I've mentioned, that you're going to feel empowered or that you're going to have the highest self-esteem that you should have. It's just going to bring you down. It's going to change you as a person. You're not even going to know who you are at the end of a relationship if it has all these things within it. Okay, and the final one is number 10, which is when your loved ones or support system are concerned. So for me, when I was in my relationship, it was a red flag against myself, because a lot of people who are important to me, or who I would call like my accountability partners, they were unaware of the relationship or what really was going on in the relationship. And I remember specifically though a time when my sister called me and I was at work, and she was going through like photo albums of me, and she was saying like, you're not yourself, you're not goofy anymore, like basically you're not you. And she was telling me how like she'd get another job basically so I could kick the guy to the bricks. But of course I stayed with him for a couple more months. But basically bringing up that point to say that if you have family or a support system who really cares about you, they're going to be looking and searching for something that might be wrong in that relationship, or making sure that you're well taken care of. So it's important to have accountability, to have that other perspective on life or whatever you're going through. That's basically it for today. In the next videos to come, we're going to be talking about how does someone get in a relationship like this. It could be things that happen in your life, your upbringing, or it could just be maybe you just don't know. So yeah, we're going to be talking about that. As always, be blessed. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment below. And if there's anything that you want me to talk about, just leave it down, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.